G4. Della!
Do you want to visit a place where it's full of sweets? Do you want to visit a place where it's full of sweets? Well, listen to my book presentation about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. This author has written various famous books such as Matilda. You may know Charlie's Chocolate Factory if you have heard about this writer's name. Now, let me introduce the main character. There's a boy named Charlie who adores chocolate, but he is very poor and lives with his family in a small cottage at the edge of the city. Charlie loves hearing from Grandpa Joe about Mr. Wonka before going to sleep. One day, Mr. Wonka made an announcement. He said that 5 lucky children who found the golden ticket could go in the factory. Can you feel the excitement in the air? The first 2 winners to find the golden ticket was Augustus Gloop and Veruca Salt, both revolting children. On Charlie's birthday, where he got his one and only chocolate bar, everyone hoped for a golden ticket, but sadly he didn't find one. Charlie lost even more hope when 2 more children found the golden ticket, Mike TV and Violet Biergard. But then, something amazing happened. Gloomily, when Charlie was walking down the street, he found money. He bought a chocolate bar, and guess what? He found the last golden ticket. The big day arrived. The golden ticket said that Wonka will let the lucky 5 children tour the whole chocolate factory, and when they go home, they'll receive an unlimited supply of treats. Can you imagine a whole room full of chocolate? A chocolate river, chocolate grass, and even chocolate flowers. And then the Oompa Loompas appeared. Tiny workers helped Mr. Wonka. But one by one, the greedy children failed. The first child to fail was Augustus by being excessively greedy and being sucked up the pipe. Then Violet failed by chewing a gum that wasn't fully checked yet. When the children were looking around the corridor where there were wonderful rooms like square suites that looked round, and when they visited the nut room, Veruca got taken by squirrels. And Mike tried the chocolate TV and was shrunk into a tiny person. Finally, there is only Charlie left who was kind and obedient. The story finishes by the other children going home and Charlie getting the whole chocolate factory. So, what can we learn from this? Don't be selfish, don't be greedy, don't just think about yourselves, because then you'll get a big consequence of the children in the story. But Charlie stayed polite, thankful, and patient, and in the end, he got the greatest reward of all. Being humble and kind like Charlie is the real golden ticket in life. Remember that good things lead to rewards, and bad things lead to great punishment. Thank you for listening, and have a sweet day.
G5. Wendy!
Hello everyone, my name is Wendy from G5, and I would like to share the book called My Sister is an Alien. It's by Jamie Lee. One day, Miso's life changes when Yan suddenly becomes her sister. But Yan is not an ordinary girl. She's an alien from other planet. At first, Miso feels confused and even a little jealous. Yan looks and acts differently, and at school, other kids stare at her because she didn't fit in. Miso wishes things could go back to way they were before. But as time goes, Miso starts to notice that Yan isn't trying to be strange, she's just being herself. When Miso discovers that Yan has special power and translucent skin, she begins to understand how difficult Yan's life must be. People, people avoided her and or make fun of her, but Yan hides her pain and tries to stay strong. Then the two sisters travel together to a mysterious purple planet. Everything there feels strange. The air, the plants, even walking is hard. Miso feels like she doesn't belong, but slowly she begins to see the world through Yan's eyes. They meet alien beings who teach them about the universe and how Miso realized that Yan might not be fully human, but she is still family. Miso learns that real family means love and understanding, even when they are completely different. When Yan's people invited them to a special ceremony called Rainbow Day, Miso wants to join but becomes scared and gives up halfway. Yet through this experiment, she learns that courage is not about never being afraid. It's about trying again and standing beside people you care about. In the end, Miso and Yan return to Earth. They are no longer just sisters by the same name. They truly understand and care for each other. Miso finally realized that being different is not something to fear, but something to respect and celebrate. This story teaches me three important things. First, respect for differences. Everyone is unique and special. Second, the meaning of family. Love and support even through misunderstandings. And third, growth through challenges. We become stronger when we face difficulties together. That's why the story of My Sister is an Alien reminds me that love and understanding can connect even the most different world. And thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Hayun. Today I will talk about a book named Winged Feather Saga. This book is about 4 books, but I will talk about book 1, On the Edge of the Dark Sea of Darkness. The main characters are Jenner, Tink, Lily, Nia, and Oscar. Jenner is the oldest child of the Igby family. Tink is the second child of the Igby family. He is fast. Lily is the third child of the Igby family. She can blow a whistle harp. Nia lost her husband in a major war. She is the mother of the 3 children. Poto is the grandfather of the 3 children. He was a pirate in the old age. In addition of that, Nugget, Lily's dog, Pete the songman, Oscar the owner of the Oscar bookstore. Because of the Nagdi Nemes, the earlier kingdom disappears. So the time comes that the Fangs rules. Nagdi Nemes, with the boss of Fangs, wants the earners rule. In the morning, Poto asks Jenner to go to the Dragon Festival with his younger siblings. When the Igbo children went outside when they were eating a blueberry pie, Lily disappeared. So the Jenner and Tink started to find Lily. When they found Lily and Nugget, they were fighting with a fang named Sarp, so they fought together. But then someone fainted Sarp by throwing a rock to him. The Igby children ran to the cliff to find their mother. When the two brothers find their mother, when they arrived, Lily began to sing. When the song ended, they go to the jail. But Nia released them by giving a necklace to Norm, who is the commander who loves the shining jewelries. Because of that, Tink and Jenna ran an errand to the Oscar bookstore. When Tink was organizing a book, he found a secret map. He secretly put it into his sleeve and came to home with Jenna. The map was going to the Uncle Jelly mansion. Tink and Jenna was curious about that, so they decided to go there. When they arrived, the appearance was old and spooky. When they came to his side, there was a lock. They opened the lock by using the clues on the map. When they came to his side, there was a sword and lots of weapons. When they came to home, Nia said to go to the Oscar bookstore to borrow books. When Tink and Jenna was returning the map, Lily had captured by a spy Slarp. So the two brothers told Polo that Lily had disappeared. Polo said to go home, and he wanted to save Lily. When Slarp tried to kill Lily, P.T. Sangme saved Lily. Meanwhile, in City Torboro, Crack said to Norm to get ready for the march. When Norm was about to go, the Crack said to give the necklace that was in Norm's neck. But Crack thought that was the earner's jewel. So they decided to arrest the Igby family who had the jewel. The Fangs had attacked the Igby family, so they ended up in jail. When they were about to ride the carriage, Podo attacked the Fangs. Because of that, Nugget dies. When all of the Fangs dies, the town people and the Igby family decided to leave the town. Then Podo, Tink, and Jenner go to the Uncle Jelly mansion to get their weapons and pack their things, while Nia and Lily was waiting in the basement of the Oscar bookstore. When Tink, Jenner, and Podo went to the Oscar bookstore, Oscar said that the Fangs had took Lily and Nia. So the boys tried to save Lily and Nia. They trapped too. Meanwhile, Pete saved Nugget by giving him the sparkling water. That is the water that saved the dead things. So Pete saved the Igby family. When the fight ends, the children need rest, so they go to the Peace Castle. When they go there, Nia told that the earliest jewel was the three Igby children. Nia was a queen and their father was a queen. And the earliest only inheritance was the three Igby children, so they was the earliest jewel. I learned that we need to love the family and cherish my family. So Wing Feather Saga book was ended. I'm curious about how to save the world, and have a nice day.
Today I'm going to talk about the book titled I'm Too Fond of My Fault, authored by Geronimo Stilton. It was when Geronimo, who is a newspaper reporter, was resting. An angry woman on the TV who was watching said, "If you don't apply this product, you will go bald and last bald." It was a strange helmet. He doesn't have no choice but to buy it because he's fond of his bald. And the helmet was coming and he wore it. Geronimo got a call from Professor Bumbold when he was wearing a helmet. Bumbold is his older friend and scientist. For now, he works in Himalayas. Professor Bumbold requested Geronimo to help him, and he said okay. For that, he must have to go to the Himalaya and and helping, equal adventure. But for him, who likes home and doesn't like any activities, adventure was opposite. Later, Geronimo's sister Della, cousin Trap, and Benjamin's nephew were coming, and Geronimo should get them to go on adventure together. And they were not because they thought together with family is better than alone. Geronimo had to be rode on an airplane, but he had panic of airplanes. Even if he felt pain, he never gives up for his old dear friend Professor Bumble. After getting off the plane, Geronimo met a guide and walked little to find a place where Bumble stayed. But before finding a place, they found somewhere. They were all people drinking tea and resting, and they also sat together. At that time, Geronimo asked the guide, "What is Chomongma?" The guide said that the mountain is called the mother of the world, which is Mount Everest. At that time, family asked Geronimo to go Mount Everest because they were popular for yak cheese. But he doesn't want to go since he knew there are 29,028 feet. But they already gone and Geronimo feels scared and afraid. Until go to the Mount Everest was hard way. Geronimo rode a high uphill and crossed the breathtaking bridge. But on the halfway, Geronimo found a paw print. Geronimo was sure that the paw print is Yeti's paw print. But the family didn't saw it because they were far away. Geronimo told his family that there were Yeti's paw print and took them the place, but it disappeared. Geronimo was too stuffy about this happen. Della said, "If you find it, take picture and give camera to Geronimo." Long time later, Geronimo found a shadow that looks like Yeti, but it became dark and it disappeared. After all of this happened, Geronimo lolled somewhere by himself, and Geronimo called his family loudly, but it didn't work. At that moment, Yeti held Geronimo and took him to his cave. The cave was dark and gloomy. The Yeti who took Geronimo seemed to be Father Yeti, and his wife was next to him. Suddenly, the sound was from a white bird in the nest. It was baby Yeti. When baby Yeti was crying. When Mom Yeti kissed her, she immediately became quiet. Geronimo was too scared. Even Yeti's family didn't do anything. When Geronimo looked closely, the baby had a chicken pox. Then a creature about the same size, Geronimo, appeared, and it was Professor Bumble, the one he found hurriedly. Then Professor Bumble gave medicine to Geronimo, and he explained that the Yeti family, not he, was in danger. Yeti took him at Professor Bumble were kissed. Hearing this, Geronimo felt empty but pretended to be fine. The one thing I tell you is that Professor Bumble always changing the experimental location for his safety and secrecy. This time it was submarine. Geronimo was so sorry for him because Professor Bumble had to leave soon. And finally Professor Bumble left by helicopter and said goodbye, Geronimo. Geronimo met his nephew Benjamin on his halfway back, who told the family was worried. While walking together, they saw a mammoth, and Geronimo took a photo with Della's camera. After reuniting with the family, Geronimo showed the photo to family, and everyone was happy. Later, Della published the story and the picture in the newspaper. The newspaper became a hot topic, and as soon as Geronimo got off the plane to go to home, the reporters came. The reporters came and asked a question. Geronimo thinks it's all down to Professor Bumboat, and he lost his boat during on his adventure, but he thinks it's good to try something new. After come back to home, Geronimo checked on email. There was a new letter. It was from Professor Bumboat. The letter meaning when he read it, it was meaning of thank you for not tell about Yeti. At that time, Geronimo felt proud for himself because he tried a hard adventure and he did successfully. The lesson I learned from this book is that real courage means doing the right thing even when you're scared. Geronimo was afraid at first, but he faced his fear to help his friend. And he learned that inner kindness is more important than outer appearance. So I will help my friends when they're having a hard time. Even if there is something hard, something afraid to do, I will call it to do it. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. G for Daniel.
Hello everyone, today I will tell you about Captain Underpants and the rest of the Wicked Witch Woman. It is written by Staff Piliki. This story is funny adventure and full of action. It's about two boys, George and Harold, and their hero, Captain Underpants. George and Harold are best friends. They like to draw comics and play tricks at school. Their jokes make other kids laugh, but teachers get annoyed. One day, they found a magic ring. They used magic ring to transform the principal into Captain Underpants. Teacher named Miss Ribble comes to school. She looks strict but normal. One day, a strange accident happened. She changed into evil, wicked, wretched woman. She built gadgets and traps to catch people. She also wants to punish George and Harold for their tricks. Soon, strange starts happening in the city. People feel scared because of the villain's traps. George and Harold know they must do something. They meet secretly and make a plan. They bring their comics and ideas and promise to work together. George and Harold call the principal with the magic ring. The principal changes into Captain Underpants and runs to save everyone. Villain uses her gadget to escape. Captain Underpants runs after her but gets caught in a big trap. George and Harold feel scared but didn't give up. They think fast and remember an idea from one of their comics. They bring the spray to stop villain's gadget. The villain sprayed at Sky to attack the boys. Then her hair disappeared. George, she lose her power. The boys and Captain Underpants win the fight. The city is safe again. Miss Ribble turned back to normal. George and Harold promised not to make a big tricks again. Everyone at school is happy and smile. My favorite part is when villain sprayed at the boys and her hair disappeared. It is so funny and surprising. My lesson I learned that having fun is good, but I should think about other people's feelings. Playing tricks can be funny, but it can also hurt others when we are not careful. Thank you.
From G5, Goya.
Have you guys ever heard the phrase, knowledge changes destiny? If you haven't, then I'll be telling you about a story called Matilda by Roald Dahl. Matilda was a very smart girl. She taught herself how to read when she was only 4 years old by reading magazines and newspapers all by herself. Matilda's parents were dishonest, selfish, and uninterested in her intelligence and happiness. So they called her a spoiled girl when they found her reading books. So Matilda decided to pull a prank on his dad by putting super glue in his hat. This made it stuck to his head. Matilda finally started school, and she met Miss Honey, who was very kind and quickly noticed her intelligence. The school's headmistress, Miss Trunchbull, she was mean and cruel to all of her students. Miss Trunchbull was an Olympic hammer thrower who hated children. She ruled the school with cruel punishments, like holding a girl's pigtails and throwing her out the window. She had a terrifying temper and punished students for no clear reasons. One time, Miss Trunchbull was punishing a boy for stealing a slice of her cake. She ordered the cook to bring a cake that's bigger than the boy. She forced the boy to finish it in front of everyone. That might seem impossible, but with encouragement from Matilda and his friends, he finished it at last. Miss Trunchbull even had a room to punish students. It was called the Chokey. It had nails and broken glasses on it. Once inside, you cannot twitch, and you will touch the spikes even if you move just a bit. She used this to keep everyone afraid of her. One of the students, Lavendar, caught a newt and put it inside of Miss Trunchbull's water pitcher. When Miss Trunchbull came for a weekly exam, she tortured the students and punished them for answering the questions wrong. When Miss Trunchbull started pouring water to his glass, the newt popped out and caused a panic. Matilda, seeing how Miss Trunchbull was punishing the students, she felt a sense of rage and discovered her unique power. She could control things with her mind. She tested this with Miss Honey by tipping a glass over and over. They decided to keep this secret. Matilda was invited to Miss Honey's house and was surprised to see how poor it was. So Miss Honey
told her story. Miss Honey's parents died when she was very young. Her aunt, Miss Trunchbull, stole all the inheritance and murdered his father. So, hearing this, Matilda decided to help her. During one class, Miss Trunchbull was trying to fire Miss Honey. Matilda used her power to control a chalk to write on the board. She pretended to be Miss Honey's father, accusing Miss Trunchbull murdering him and stealing all the inheritance. Miss Trunchbull was so shocked that she fainted. Later that day, Miss Trunchbull disappeared, and Miss Honey got all the inheritance back. Matilda's parents were found guilty of making fake cars, so they quickly booked flight to escape, caring only about themselves, not Matilda. They left Matilda behind when Miss Honey adopted Matilda. They formed a new happy family together, sharing love, support, happiness, and courage. What I have learned in this story? I've learned that even though Matilda had a tough environment, she never gave up her love for reading. Through self-study, she gained intelligence and stood up against injustice. We should be like her to be brave and have courage, that we should stand up against injustice. Matilda and Miss Honey were both very kind and cared about each other. Together, they found support and courage through each other. We should live with kindness to have luck all around us. And I wish everyone have learned what the phrase knowledge changes destiny is. And thank you for listening.
Taisha.
Hello everybody, my name is Taisha and I'm going to be talking about Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets made by J.K. Rowling. Introduction. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is the second book in the famous series of Harry Potter. The story follows Harry's second year at Hogwarts Witchcraft and Wizardry School. Where mysterious attacks leaving students petrified. Rumors spread about a secret chamber within the school said to a monster living in the chamber. Harry and his friends, Harry's loyal friends help him enter the Chamber of Secrets. Let me tell you about the characters. Harry Potter, the brave main character. Hermione Granger, Harry's intelligent friend. Ron Weasley, Harry's loyal best friend. Albus Dumbledore, the wise headmaster of the school. And Tom Riddle, the main villain of the story. The worst birthday. Today was Harry's birthday, but the Dudleys forgot. In fact, the Dudleys treated him all summer horrible. Dobby's warning. Dobby ran back to his room when the Masons arrived. Then he saw an elf named Dobby. Trying to warn him not to go back to Hogwarts because it was dangerous. He tried to stop Harry from going to Hogwarts. Harry laid restlessly thinking that everybody forgot his birthday until he saw Ron outside his window in a flying car. And He tried to get on, but Mr. Vernom came in time to stop him. Harry managed to get in, but when they reached Ron's house, it was Harry's first time in a magical house. Flowers and blood. Mrs. Weasley got a flower pot full of magic powder and told everybody to grab a handful and told them to speak clearly and say Diagonal Alley. When everybody said Diagonal Alley, it was Harry. After everybody said Diagonal Alley, it was Harry's turn. He stuttered and messed it up, and he landed in an area which was not Diagonal Alley. The Whomping Willow. They tried to get on to the Hogwarts Express, but they could not cross for some reason. So Harry and Ron decided to go on Mr. Arthur Weasley's car. There they drove, and when they almost reached Hogwarts, they crashed into the tree called the Whomping Willow. Gilderoy Lockhart's. Everybody visited a class called the Dark Arts. There they saw their teacher, Mr. Gilderoy Lockhart. There he introduced himself and gave a quiz about himself. Then he let out a cage full of Cornish pixies and let them destroy everything. And then Mr. Gilderoy Lockhart left the classroom. Mudbloods and Murmurs. Harry was going to his Quidditch practice with Ron and Hermione. Suddenly, Draco called Hermione a mudblood. Ron plunged his hand in his robes in anger and took out his wand and said, "Eat slugs," but his broken wand backfired the spell. The Death Day party. After the party, Mrs. Binns explains a myth that the Slytherin hair could open the Chamber of Secrets and try to kill the Muggle blood. And then after that, Harry was going back to his dorm. He saw then Mrs. Norris, the cat, petrified on the wall. The writing on the wall. Writing on the wall. Mrs. Flitch discovers that his cat, Mrs. Norris, was found petrified, and on the side it was written, "The Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Enemies of the hair, be aware." And he blames Harry that he was the one who did this, but Mr. Dumbledore said that he could have not done this because he is just a second year. The Roge Blood. Harry unsuccessfully could not win a Quidditch match and got hurt. So Mr. Lockhart tried to fix his arm, but instead broke his bones. So Mrs. Pomfrey fixed his bones, and Miss Hermione Granger got a book from the restricted library, the Dueling Club. Harry came back from the hospital and saw Ron and Hermione working on the Polyjuice potion to turn into Slytherin students. So after Harry was paired with Malfoy in the Dueling Club to fight him. Malfoy conjures a snake, and Harry uses his pestle tongue, making him more suspicious and the victim of littering. The polyjuice potion. Hermione, Ron, and Harry decide to drink the polyjuice potion and become Slytherin students. Hermione took cat hair and instead became a half human and half cat. The very secret diary. Harry and Ron find a diary near Moaning Myrtle's bathroom stall. Then Hermione examines it and finds out that it's from a 50-year student from the Slytherin Cornelius Fudge. Harry, Ron, and Hermione debut if Hagrid was behind this decades ago. But the Quidditch match had been cancelled due to the fear in the school. And Harry found out that the diary had gotten lost one time of Tom Riddle's and that the Basil tongue had come this time to kill Aragog. Hagrid gave a clue to follow the spiders, and that when Harry and Ron followed these spiders, they found Aragog, the captain of spiders, saying that he wasn't the monster of the person who was trying to kill students. It was the basilisk. The Chamber of Secrets. Harry and Ron ask Mr. Lockhart for help, and he tries to use his magic power to open the chamber, but they discover that he's a fraud. So Harry uses his Basil tongue to open the Chamber of Secrets. The hair of Slytherin. The hair of Slytherin. Harry finds out that Ginny Weasley was on the ground and that Tom Riddle was young Voldemort. There he lets out the basilisk and the Phoenix comes in time to stop to blind the basilisk, and the Sorting Hat comes to give Harry the Gryffindor sword. And he slices the basilisk and takes his fang and kills and stabs the diary. Dobby's reward. Harry gives Lucius Malfoy Tom Riddle's diary and Lucius Malfoy gives Tom Riddle's diary to Dobby. Dobby sees a sock and he becomes free. What did I learn? Courage and bravery. Harry, Ron, and Hermione show great courage by facing their fears. By following the trails of the monsters to enter the Chamber of Secrets. Loyalty and friendship. The trio's friendship helps them overcome many challenges. Ron stands by Harry even when others doubt him, and Hermione's intelligence and loyalty are crucial to solving the mysteries. The value of education and curiosity. Hermione's knowledge and willingness to learn are to learn our keys to solving the mystery. The importance of choices. Harry chooses to be brave, while Tom Riddle chooses to be powerful and cruel. Our decisions define our character, produce and equality. The book explores the idea of pre-blood wizards looking down on Muggle board. Hermione faces this through produces, but proves her worth through intelligence and bravery. Thank you for listening.
All right, last but not least, Onyu, okay? He's the last one. Have good manners, okay, guys?
Have you ever thought about a robot living in the wild, learning to survive like an animal? Well, that's what exactly happens in The Wild Robot, a story written by Peter Brown. The story follows Rosam Unit 7134, short name Ross, who was stranded on the island after a big storm. Then she adopts a little gosling named Brightbill, and she raises him like her own little son. Ross, who was stranded on the island following a storm, learns and gets the ability to survive through observation and creation of bonds with animals. She adopts a gosling named Brightbill and assumes the roles of a loving mother and a protector. As she faces challenges in harsh environments, like the Red Coast robots who came to retrieve her, she grows and exceeds her programming, turning into a wild robot fused with empathy, leadership, and a sense of purpose. Roz's journey tells and shows me about who we are growing as people and the power of being kind. As she meets new things and goes on adventures on the island, she slowly becomes a real part of nature. And this shows me that something even built or made can learn how to love, live, and belong. I learned 2 lessons from this book. First, we should always be grateful, brave, and understanding to do even little things, just like Ross did to animals, and did not give up even though she came to shore all broken, sloshed onto the waves. Second, we should always be helping and using our powers to help others and protect them from danger, even though you don't get any profits. It's just like Ross protected the animals from hunters and storms. We should always care for people around us too. For example, you can care for a friend who is being treated unfairly and feeling lonely too. Helping others may not give us rewards or money, as you think, but helping others means more and makes your heart stronger and happier. And that's the real power we can all have in our hearts. I want to apply what I learned in my real life. I want to help my friends when they need it and be kind to others, just like Ross was to animals. And also, I want to care more about nature and environments, like Ross showed me that everything in nature is linked. By doing small good things daily, I can make my world a bit better and do as Ross did on his island. I strongly recommend you this book because it was really beautiful and wonderful to me. I also can teach my friends or families life lessons I learned from reading this book to make my life and my friends more fun and exciting. I also recommend you and suggest you to watch the movie in the short version in the theater. Thank you for listening.